November is National Diabetes Awareness Month, and our next guest has many ties to type 1 diabetes. Her name is Kim Roosevelt. She joins us this morning along with two young women who can talk about their experiences in living in the solution and also had this disease. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Charlesy, Kendall, and Kim. Good morning.
Good
nice
morning.
to have you all here.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about what JDRF is.
Well, JDRF is the largest funder of type 1 diabetes research.
Okay.
We have personally invested over the years $1.7 billion in type 1 diabetes research.
Yeah.
And we are focused on type 1. And JDRF used to stand for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, but unfortunately over the years, people are being diagnosed from ages 5 to adulthood. And so it's a disease that is on the rise, and a disease that's not only wreaking havoc in individuals' lives, but is incredibly costly. Last year we spent, as a U.S. economy, $245 billion fighting diabetes. And so it's an issue that is, impacting more people every day.
Tell us again what the difference between type 1 and type 2 is, just so we can understand again.
Absolutely. Type 1 diabetes is it's an autoimmune disease, and basically it attacks the pancreas, and it means your pancreas doesn't produce insulin. And as of right now, when you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you're insulin dependent for life. Type 2 diabetes, which is, I think, a little bit more common and what most people hear about, is something that usually is onset later on in life, and it's usually, a lot of times it can be as a result of lifestyle choices, poor eating, poor diet, and it can usually be handled by changing your lifestyle or by taking medication.
Right.
That is very different than type 1. Type 1, when you get the diagnosis, you automatically go on insulin. You're doing shots, you're doing pumps, you're pricking your finger 8 to 12 times a day. I mean, your life changes overnight when you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Girls, which type do y'all have?
I have type 1.
And so do I.
You both are battling. When did you get diagnosed with type 1?
Well, I'm 12 right now. I was diagnosed on Valentine's Day last year.
Oh,
so
okay.
When I was 11.
I'm also 12, and I have had it since I was 2 years old.
Wow. Okay, so tell me about this advocacy program that y'all are involved in and what's going on with that.
Well, JDRF, one of the nice things about JDRF is we not only are the largest funder of research for type 1, but we realize that research alone is not going to get us to the results. And so we have to go the next step, and that's advocating. And whether that's working with our government to partner with funding or getting the FDA to approve trials, because obviously anytime you have a new research project, it's got to go through human clinical trials and then be approved and then be picked up by insurance. And so the advocacy kind of program takes us from the research to actually getting it on the market. And one of the things that we do right now in our advocacy program is we are working right now on, our particular focus right now is on a project called the Special Diabetes Program, which is a unique funding program where Congress directly mandates $150 million to go to type 1 diabetes research. And generally the way it works is money is given to the NIH and then it's distributed out. And this is unique money that comes directly to us. And so we meet with our congressmen. We have a program every other year called Children's Congress, which these young ladies took part in. And we select about 150 children with type 1 diabetes between the ages of 5 and 18, and they go to Washington.
Wow.
They learn how to advocate for themselves, go to Senate hearings, and actually meet with their congressmen.
You girls actually went and did that?
Yes.
And you're going and just showing them and telling them everything you need and what you want and how you need more funding for this disease?
We tell them kind of a little bit about our experience with living with type 1 and why research is so important. And it would make a huge difference on our lives and the lives of so many kids. And so it is really just important, and it's a lot of fun too.
And you've probably learned a lot too, haven't you?
Yes.
You're doing things right now that even grown adults don't even know how to do. And so this is a really good thing for you, and I'm so proud of you. So anything new that's in the works right now?
There are a lot of really exciting projects going on, and that's one of the best parts for me as a mother. I have an 11-year-old daughter with type 1 diabetes, is seeing the research and how far we've come. And there is a new product that we hope to be in the market the next 5 years called the artificial pancreas, which basically is 2 external devices that will mimic how the pancreas works. So right now, a typical person pricks their finger 8 to 12 times a day. They won't have to do this. It will be an automatic system that checks their blood sugar every 5 minutes, talks to an insulin pump that will then give them insulin. And so it will radically change how we live with type 1 diabetes on a daily basis. We're also looking at encapsulating cells that will reproduce insulin. So basically taking cells and implanting them in our body, and they're able to reproduce like the beta cells that aren't working in our pancreas. So it's really exciting.
Thank you so much for your work. I know how important it is to all of us. And girls, I'm really particularly proud of you. Not only you're doing a good thing and you're making a good impression on your peers, but you're really making a good impression on adults. So thank you so much for being a part. All right. You can go to jdrfdallas.org or call 214-373-9808 for more details on dealing with the challenges of junior diabetes. We'll also have this link on our website at thebroadcasttv.com.